right, Harry. So it's actually been a while since we've chatted on camera, and congratulations firstly on your new gym. How's it feeling being independent?
Great feeling. First and foremost, and you know, I thank God that it happened. And you know, everything is timing. Obviously, it hurts when it's not happening. You know, because it means you gotta wait. And whilst you're waiting, you even lose certain things. You know, it could be you could lose an opportunity to get a certain fight, or you could lose an opportunity to work with a certain boxer or continue working with a certain boxer. But you know, it's all in God's hands. You know, and as they say, you know, God's timing. There's no best timing than, you know, God's time. You know, so which means then this is what He prepared for me. You know, and now, you know, if it couldn't happen then, it's happening now. So you know what I mean. So it's it's a relief, because you've got your own keys to your own place to start with. You know, you want to train your guy. You know, you go and train him now. I could come and train my guy here at 12 o'clock midnight. You know, I don't have to wait for somebody to say, you know, I'm in KZN or wherever. You know, the gym is locked today, and you know, you got to go train your guy at a park somewhere. You know, at a backyard somewhere. So yeah, that's the relief of having your own place.
I think one of the more impressive things is the amount of quality boxers you've managed to acquire in a short space of time. And when you speak to the boxers, they say really good things about you. It's not like they've just joined you for, like some gyms they join for sponsorship reasons, some gyms they join for alternative. Yours, they generally are joining for your boxing training. How does that make you feel?
Great, great. You know, it's such a good feeling. I mean, you know, sometimes I look at these boys and I mean, like now Luandile, you know, Luandile brought all his belt. He went home, he brought all his belt. And, you know, I've had to take him and lock him away. And I look at his belts and it just reminds me of the caliber of fighters that I'm handling. You know, this is a former world champion, IBO, and WBF world champion, and, you know, SA three-time champion, and WBO international. He's actually he still is the current WBO international champion. So, and you're right, and you know, I'm in a lucky position. I'm a lucky man to have got those guys to come to me, because I've worked with a few guys at a level, you know, but until people see what you're able or capable of doing, then they really do believe. So for these boys to come and join me without really having to prove so much to them, you know, it says a lot, and I thank God for that, you know, and amazing things are going to happen.
I wanted to know if you ever, at any stage, because boxing is a very tough sport, particularly in South Africa, and did you ever have any doubts that this was gonna happen the way it did?
What, the whole thing coming together? I never did doubt it. You must understand, I've had this dream. I don't know, which year did I meet you?
I think 2015.
2015. I've had this dream since, you can go as far as, you know, as I moved to the UK in 2002. You know, I was already dreaming of this. But like I say, God's time is the best time. I've had to wait all this time to finally do it. But you don't know how you're going to do it or how it's going to happen until you really do it. You know what I mean? And but yeah, I never doubted this. I was pushed out of the sport somehow, and I walked away because I couldn't stand the pain. I walked away, but I knew I had to cancel myself and you know, and tell myself that, you know, you got to stay relevant in the sport of boxing still, to keep the fires burning, but to also for people not to forget you, but also for you to still be relevant. You know what I mean? So, but I never doubted that this will happen. I've stayed on course. I've always believed. You know, I've always believed, and But also, I believe so much in my ability. I'm a teacher, you know, and I'm a student of the sport. So I know what I have to give back. I know what I can give back. You know, I coach and I see things without even looking at them. I see things, you know, and I coach and I tell people, you know, and I could tell a boxer to do something and they do it and it's like magic. It's like, geez, coach, how did you know? So I couldn't let that go to waste.
You know, talk about taking opportunities. You had preliminary fighters to begin your training career, like any trainer does.
Yeah.
Then you moved away from the professional side slightly. I think you went in some white collar events.
Yeah.
And now you've got fighters that are fighting on the biggest stage for big titles. And you know, just how life has changed, and how
life has changed.
Is it all sinking in?
Life has changed?
You feel like you're in the right spot.
You know, I'm going to tell you something. If something is supposed to happen, if it's meant to happen, it will happen. When I trained, the guys that I trained at people's gyms, it was tough. You know, you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. You don't know how things are going to shape up. And I did my first white collar tournament in the UK in 2010. And you know, it takes some serious balls, excuse the pen, to really go and do something. You see, to put it's like a boxing promoter to go and tell people that you're going to organize an event and you want them to take part in your event. Who's going to listen to you? You know, it's scary. Just the thought of it, it's scary to put a tournament together, get people to come and say, yeah, we're going to fight in your tournament, you know. So I did that in 2010, and fast forward to, you know, the event that we had in 2016. You know, all those years later, and to still manage to do that tournament and carry on, I had to stay relevant, Hayden. So I carried on doing white collar events just to stay in the game, just to sustain myself even financially, and open certain doors, and you know, but also, you know, improve my way of doing things. You know, my plan was always from back in the days. My plan was always, as a boxer, I knew I was gonna retire, become a trainer. From training, become a manager. You know, thereafter the plan is to become a promoter. But my thinking now with white collar is to teach myself how to promote a boxing event. You know, that's what now white collar has taught me or has given me. You know, people just jump into promotion maybe because, you know, they got a lottery from somewhere, you know, lucky them. But, you know, some of us have had to do it the hard way.
Okay, let's do a quick rewind in your career. A guy that was supposed to sort of catapult your career initially, and maybe that were the thoughts, LERATO DLAMINI, talking about him. He's doing really well for himself nowadays. You got your own thing going on, but it would be almost unfair if I didn't let the audience know your side of the story with regards to LERATO. He was your boxer in the beginning, and things changed, and I just wanted to get your side of the story.
My son, you know, LERATO called me Pops. You know, LERATO lived in my house. We were like father and son. You know, I don't know. I mean, LERATO should be in a position to tell this story, but LERATO is, I think he was raised by a single mom. You know, he loves his mom to bits, and everything. I know this because, like I say, he was like a son to me. Everything LERATO is doing for his mom. You know, beautiful woman. I spoke to her over the phone. I've never met her. She loves her son to bits, and you know, it's the two of them. You know what I mean? LERATO is an ambitious young boy. LERATO, I've worked with boxers. I've worked with a lot of people. You know, I've never seen somebody who is so determined and who's got a dream like LERATO. You know, I've got a book. I should have brought that book with me in my house. I put there, when I first met LERATO, I wrote down the day I met WBC champion. Believe it or not, Hayden. It's in the book. Wow. The first day I met LERATO. When I went back home, I wrote in that book. It's a black book. I'm emotional as I'm saying this. I wrote in that book the day I met the WBC champion. And now what just happened? Lerato is a WBC silver champion. Now, what a heartless man to take Lerato away from me. I didn't fight with Lerato. We like I say, we were like a father and son. And I had plans. When I actually came to Benoni to open the gym in Benoni, my plan was to have somewhere where I can train Lerato, just me and him. Nothing beats the two of you. When you're working with somebody and it's just the two of you. And that's why I could do what I did with Franz, because there was no disturb. It was just me and him. So I was able to work on every little thing with him, And that was the plan, to come and work with Lerato here. But unfortunately, for me, Lerato had to stay behind because that guy had already told him that he's got better things for him, which was fine, which is what is happening now, which is what Lerato needed. But my thing was always to say, if you're my friend and if you're my brother, why don't you come to me and say, hey, Harry, look, I want to help you advance this boy, so can I become part of the team so that you don't lose out for the work that you've put in, for the love that you have for the boy, for everything that you're doing and all of that. Come to me and say, look, let me come in and help you, advance this boy's career, and but instead you go and with all the boxes that you have, you still feel the need to come and take my only one and leave me with nothing, and you don't even see anything, you don't even feel anything. I look at you, I see a brother, I see a friend, I see a true friend. So it's crazy, man, and it makes you wonder how people are. They smile in your face, and they can stab you in the back, right? So and that was it. And Lerato, after securing everything and organizing myself, and I was ready to make the move to Benoni, and I said to Lerato, look, here's the situation. But I think it was a few days before that, or even weeks, Lerato said, and I was giving up. I was not giving up. I was leaving everything behind that side and all the boxes. France, we've already talked. France was going to leave. Because we were disagreeing on a number of things, even the Mhlongo fight, I didn't want him to take the Mhlongo fight. So Franz was he was finding himself, and he couldn't wait. He just wanted to just move. So I was saying to him, everything is timing, Franz. Don't go fight Mhlongo. So Franz was going to leave. Ashley Dlamini, I thought he was a little bit, on his way out. So I said to Ashley, you need to quit. Lovely boy, I love him to bits. But I said to him, Ashley, you need to quit. You took a lot of punishment, over the years. Your style was that kind of style. And Takalani Ndlovu was just battling with injuries. And I thought I was just going to remain with Lerato. So I said to Lerato, no, actually Lerato approached me and said, look, Pops, I think, remember you said to Franz can go find himself a gym. I think I'm going to also go find myself a gym. I said, no, what are you talking about? He says, no, Colin says he can organize for me to go be promoted by Rodney Behrman and all of that. I said, but we together. I mean, why would you want to leave me? Have I not, and we were having such, I met Lerato. I was in his first fight, by the way, when he fought Michael Mukwena, first fight, first loss. They asked me to help in the corner. That was my encounter. France had invited me to come and see this boy who would like to join us in Joburg. So I was there, I saw him. Thereafter, after that loss, we obviously, had 6 fights, 6 wins, I think 5 knockouts, something like that. So we were progressing nicely, So when he told me he was going to have to go train with that guy, I thought to myself, well, it's the name of the game, and I was upset. I didn't talk to Lerato for a very long time, not because I was angry at him, but because I was just so disappointed and hurting inside. Until I think I saw an interview with you and this and that, with you and him. But there was never really hard feelings for me and him. It was just I just kept my distance. I kept my distance. I started afresh. I started focusing on white collar, and that was it. Until recently, I spoke to him recently before the title. Now, I saw him when France was fighting at Terfontaine. He came to me. We hugged. We didn't kiss though. We just hugged. and you know, I wished him well, and he wished me well, and I don't think I knew about the WBC yet, but I see what happened. You know, he won the WBC, which is fantastic, which is awesome. He can make some money for his family. You know, I'm just happy, and he can progress. I'm sure he's now rated highly in the WBC, and he can make it. Like I say, I've written it down, Hayden. So I've prophesied that. So it's gonna happen.
Let's talk about, and that was a very beautiful story about Lerato. Obviously, a lot of people do love him as a person as well as a boxer.
Lovely kid.
Siyabonga Siya.
Yeah.
He's the guy that you got to take this weekend to an up and coming prospect.
Yeah.
It's a sort of a
to Lions Den.
Yeah, because it's like yes, Siya's from the Eastern Cape, but he's not with the right promoter. You know, the promoter's for the other guy.
Yeah.
So it's almost like fighting in the other guy's backyard.
It's the other guy's home thing. Yeah. Even though he's from there.
What do you make of that fight?
Where do you are?
What do you make of the fight?
Very good fight. Very good fight. I'm glad that we had our first fight with Siya, and I'm glad that he's got off the ring rust before this fight, because this is a big challenge, because the kid is young and hungry. More like more like a Pacquiao Thurman situation, right? And I think the outcome is going to be the same.
I see. Okay.
That sums it up for everyone there.
Why do you think, and obviously some people might be seeing you for the first on the show.
No, sure.
Why do you think that, what makes your gym special, and are you open, are your doors open to guys wanting to join you and so forth?
Our name is VIP. Okay, so people are special here. We're special. We try to treat them special. You know, Hayden, boxing is a tough sport, and boxing is a poor man's sport, unfortunately. But that's got to change, right? We're trying to. I mean, we are accommodating the boxers here. We feeding them. We're doing everything for them. They do nothing. I brought these guys all the way from everywhere where they came from. We paid for accommodation, we paid for transport, we paid for everything. They happy. Boxing is a tough sport, but the boxers have got to live a life that is at least comforting. You know, so we're trying to do that. And we're an academy. The plan is to I'd like a situation where these guys even go to school. You know, as an academy. There's no boxing academy in South Africa, right? I can't even think of one in the whole world. So we'd like, because often boxers can't even read, can't even write, can't even speak proper English. So I'd like a situation where we're getting sponsorships and really put together a proper school of boxing. So that's what is special about our gym. That's the foundation of who we are. We are an academy. We'd love to empower the boxers. We'd like to upgrade them. We'd like to have them at a level. We're not just about having these guys here and taking their percentage. Hayden, we still take 25% with all that we do for the guys. I get people telling me, but yes, why aren't you taking 35%? But you think to yourself, most of these guys don't earn decent, good enough money to take 35%, and when they earn, they're left with fuck all. You know? So I think we're special. I think we're treating people with love, with care. I'm extremely hard and strict, so sometimes it's like I don't love and care for them, but I actually love and care for them. Love. It's tough love, because if you don't give them that, it's too easy. Two, they could get derailed easily, and we the door is open for anyone. Unfortunately, we can only give so much. If it was for me, I would even have 20 guys, 50 guys, and let me tell you a little story, and no disrespect to anyone, and Mhlongo, he knows I love him to bits. I once saw, when Mhlongo was going to fight France, I saw Mhlongo using public transport to come to the gym, and he got to the gym. He found that me and France were already there training, sparring, and obviously he couldn't be there in the same space as his opponent. He had to go back, catch another taxi, go back to find another gym. Come on.
Yeah, I think around that time he had a supplement sponsor, but no monetary sponsor, no money.
It was just sponsor. It was just supplements, man. What's that gonna do for him? You know. But I'm saying a whole champion having to. Life shouldn't be like that. Life shouldn't be like that. You know, South Africa. We need to get it right.
It was a nice change for me because obviously coming into your gym today, it's the first time I've been here,
Yeah.
and as soon as I walked in, I had a peek inside. It's a nice, spacious gym.
Yeah.
But the first thing I noticed when I walked into the gym and I looked up was all the camps. So you got bedrooms for all your boxers here. So it's not like they have to go out and find themselves accommodation. They literally can pull in right here, sleep and have a decent camp. No mischief, no nothing. Just boxing. And I think that's what it's about. Like the guys are just coming in here and doing their job, as opposed to having to struggle, and that's the difference and change I think you're trying to implement here. So big congratulations to you on that, and it's been a privilege to come here today and obviously interview some of your boxers, yourself, and again, thank you very much for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.